House music.
Good day, Meticulous Moments audience. Thank you so much for joining us for another exhilarating episode here at the Meticulous Moments podcast, where we facilitate community upliftment through leadership development. And today we have the wonderful privilege of spending time with the amazing Eli Jeffree Zen. And before I bring him on screen, I'm going to read you his bio. Eli Jeffree Zen, born in Israel October 7, 1980, is known for his passion and well-versed mixed martial arts experience that opened many doors in the acting and stunt field. You may have seen him working on everything from NBC's various novellas on Telemundo to Cannes Film Festival award-winning films like Hidden Assets, available on iTunes and Amazon, in which he displays his multiple talents as a supporting a lead role character. The calculated accountant Carter Town, coordinating and performing all his stunts, EJZ also showcases his many ranges of ability by the acting, stunts, fight, and action choreography skills displayed in his most recent film, Henry, where he gets introduced to the world as the lead role alongside the late legend Burt Reynolds and Hollywood's own Eric Roberts and Robert Lasardo. Released January 16, 2019, available on Amazon Prime, On Demand, and DVD. His action ability meets a versatile, no-typecast style that pushes the envelope of the industry, taking daring roles filled with excitement, mirroring what's to come in this all-around talent's bright future. And with that, we welcome our amazing guest, Eli. How are you, Eli?
Hello, beautiful universe. First, just wanted to say I am completely humbled and honored to be on your show. I have seen so many established names, very interesting gentlemen, walks of all life, and I'm just someone that is so thankful to have had the passion and skill set to align with my opportunities. I'm just a normal human being, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Juanita.
Thank you, Eli. Absolutely, such an honor to have you here. And I just want to give a shout out to John Varnes, who made the connection, our buddy, our good.
Yes, that is the homie. Thank you,
He's
John.
our
Love you, bud.
John is awesome. He's amazing. And I know we've read your bio. You know, you are out there doing so much good in the world. Would you like to give us some key points about you, Eli, that the audience might not be aware of yet?
That was it. Just blessed, thankful. I've been guided by angels all my life. I've walked so many different walks of life. I think I've done just about almost everything from bartending to selling insurance. I still have 9 different jobs to make ends meet. Not that I need the money. I love everything that I'm doing. They're all passion jobs. I love to help people. So that's what I am. I've just kind of been, in a sense, and I recognize others as the same. John is an earth angel. See, he passes on all of his blessings. The same thing I do. I'm just a portal. I'm just a vessel. I don't take much of the credit. I'm a reflection of this beautiful light that I love to holster and share.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Yes, we are placed here on earth, you know, to make a big impact, a positive impact in there, out there. And, you know, being a vessel is a good thing. And that's why, you know, when you said you are blessed, it really resonated with me because we meet such amazing people on our journey. It truly makes life worth it, you know, it makes life beautiful. Now, you and I talked about your childhood and your teenage years. Would you like to elaborate on that for us?
So, if you guys will allow me today to be a little vulnerable, I'm going to share how my journey started from the beginning all into the present day. Some of which I've never mentioned before, ever publicly. So that's going to be my present to myself as well, and to be able to share with you. My martial arts journey started at, I want to say, 6.5 years old. Yeah. I was a product of a fatherless childhood, and my mom raised me on my own. So I've always looked up to these tough guys. That's what we were taught as men at a young age, be tough, and looked up to people like Master Lee and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Come on. When you saw him do the splits between the chairs, I was like, Mom, I need to, I want to do that. That's what it just vibed with my warrior spirit from a young age. I believe in the Gilgula Nishama, which is the wheels of the soul. And, I've spoken to high Kabbalists and whatnot about being here before, in a sense. And I strongly believe that my soul vibed with it. I recognized it immediately. I was told that I was a warrior in past lives before, which is why I have to make amends with my father in this life. Because I guess in the past life, somehow I destroyed his army. And that's why in this life I was left by him. Very deep, intricate stuff. Anyway. So I was not even a week later, as soon as I told my mom, I want to do karate, I started with Taekwondo. That's where I started my journey. And I was there for a good 4 or 5 years. It was my first black belt. And from there, I went on to my troubled teens. I kind of veered away from the martial arts, got more into, I've always been an athlete my whole life. I like contact sports. I played hockey as well on a lot of travel and local teams in Los Angeles. I came here at the young age of 6.5 months, 7 months. So I was in LA from 7 months old until about 16 and a half. 16 and a half, I got into a lot of trouble and had to leave Los Angeles. Went to Israel to learn about my roots, did a little bit of army time, got busted as a Ben Yachid because when I entered, I made a deal with the army to be in a fighting unit. And you can't be in a fighting unit when you're the only son, which I lied about. Said I had a brother. Like, to make a long story short, after the basic training, they kicked me out because obviously they did research on me. They're like, this dude's like a ninja. Who is this guy? People shoot themselves to get out of the unit that he's in. And he's over here coming from the States to be in this fighting unit. What's going on? So they investigated me because, during these little fight pits, they saw that I was just kind of beating up like 4 or 5 guys. And they're like, all right, this is like, he speaks Russian. What is this? Some sort of spy? Yeah, oh yeah. So anyway, make a long story short, next thing I know, I'm back in Miami because I couldn't go back to LA yet because of this troubled past. And however, 7 years in the past, I didn't kill anybody or anything, but I was on probation and still got into trouble. And, it was like silly, And anyway, made it back to the States. I'm in Miami now. And again, just kind of the troubled youth came back to bother me a little bit. I haven't admitted this to many people either, but I did have a drug addiction in my early 20s that thank goodness I've gotten a grip on. And I got put in jail again, and it followed me. I did a little bit of jail time, about 2 years of jail time in a federal prison here, and then that's when I really got that thinking time.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with my life? I got into a few fights in prison, and I allegedly beat up guys that were like the hardest guys in the unit. These ex-boxers, scary looking, gold teeth, huge buff dudes. And I was like this little scrawny kid until I was in prison. And I got in crazy shape in prison because I was just counting my calories and, sleeping on time all the times, that institutionalized life. Again, I thrived in these kind of environments where I was watched, like the army. It was kind of like another situation like that. And I was like, I think that I'm going to fight. I'm going to give it a shot at this martial arts thing. I think that's what I want to do. And the reason that I did that is because I was scared.
Yeah.
I was so afraid of doing that I needed to face my fears.
Wow.
To me, fears are an invitation to change. I heard that quote somewhere. I don't know exactly who said that. If I'm quoting anyone, please, I don't mean to plagiarize. It's just something that moved me, so I share.
Yeah.
And that's when I met Moti Horenstein, which I got into the Krav Maga, and it cleaned up my whole style. I mean, I came in there with the karate stance, hands down, bouncing around, and he's like, "What is this? What is this?" He's an Israeli guy, 6-time world heavyweight champion. Look up Moti Horenstein. His accolades are through the roof. Guinness World Book breaker of breaking the bats, baseball bats.
Wow.
Insane. You can look that up on YouTube. Anyway, and I just saw the picture of this bus that was driving around for his after school program, and I gave him a call. Make a long story short, he kind of Mr. Miyagi'd me, come into class, we do assessment, see what you got. A lot of people say they want to fight, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Came in. Okay. And he told me to come into another class, then to another class. And he never pressured me to sign up to the program. He saw that I came from, kind of didn't really have my own funds put together yet. I'm fresh out of prison, and he just gave me a chance. In other words, I started to work for him, did marketing for him, picked things up, started doing a little bartending on the side, this and that. And this was always my goal. I wanted to fight again because I was so afraid of it that I needed to face my fears. Even though I was younger and I already had this martial arts experience, I was bullied a lot, into which case, oh yeah, you're this martial artist, come on, fight me. So I never really had this aggression pinned up inside from these opportunities that I wasn't aggressive. I was just never an aggressive person.
Yeah.
So I started doing the whole amateur thing and got about 14 fights I started with kickboxing and then I got into the MMA.
Oh.
And this is another thing that I'm going to admit that I haven't really publicly said. In this journey through the amateur fights, and to me it was the same. I mean, these kids are in there trying to knock your head off. It doesn't matter that we're not getting paid for it. They meant business, and I always took fights that were above my league in a sense. You know, more experienced fighters, undefeated guys. I fought the people that nobody wanted to fight. You know, these kids that were dormant. Nobody's beat them, and I would make them come off their throne and fight me. And I won some, by unanimous decision. Most of the time, I would see my opportunities to hurt them, but I never took them. But I still didn't realize that I was too nice for the game. I would always, I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. Until my last fight, where I really had someone in a bad position. I had them in a Kimura on my full guard.
Yeah.
And I started to rip his arm, and I heard a click, and the kid was a beast. He didn't tap. He screamed, but he wouldn't tap. And I let my legs open.
Yeah.
He got out. Thankfully, I won that fight again by decision.
Yeah.
But that's when I really had to do the inventory for myself. I'm like, damn, man, you're too nice for this. This might not be what you really truly wanted to do. You faced your fears. I got very comfortable in the cage. I was very aware, literally like watching the clock tick down before when I was submitted. I had 50 seconds left in a fight from a kid that didn't have anybody go past the first round with him. We're in the third. He ended up winning anyway. It was a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I was, I believe, a white belt or barely a blue belt at the time. I'm a purple belt now. I've been a purple belt for about 9 years in BJJ. That's just my journey with the BJJ. Maybe I'll complete it one day. I'm looking at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. I want if I get back into it, to do it with a system that's very modern. I like 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. But anyway, and it became very clear to me that that's not what I was going to pursue. And it's almost like the universe heard me.
Yeah.
And gave me the opportunity at acting.
Wow.
I went to an audition. And, it was my very first time on set for a show called Magic City on Stars Network. It's like an HBO type situation. And at that time, very first time on set, I got really lucky. Like I said, it's just the universe reacted to my genuine heart, in a sense, right? I knew within myself that I'm either gonna do another fight and try my chances, or maybe take my shot here. So they saw me on set, and I was supposed to be like some background mover guy, whatever, it doesn't matter. I started as an extra, and they bumped me. They're like, "Hey, he looks a little Cuban. Do me a favor, say Toma." Perfect. Oh my God, wardrobe, go get changed. You're going to get this little line here. Throw back into this thing. And I was on season 2, episodes 7 and 8 in this show called Magic City. And from then on, I was addicted. I have to be at the right place at the right time. I have to take all my opportunities, and I'm going to get further into this. This is the way it would vibe with me. I just really loved it. And next thing I know, I hear another audition through the buzz in Miami for this short film, and this is an opportunity to actually act as well. And then I met my stunt coordinator on that set, and we just started talking about the whole martial arts thing, and he gave me an opportunity to work with a gentleman that I still work with today on occasion. Juan Pablo Raba. which has been my actor for about 9 years now, back and forth.
Wow.
He does a lot of his own stunts, but whenever the crazier stuff happens, he'll give me the opportunity. And I worked a whole season with him on Los Secretos de Lucia in Telemundo. But word was that this guy was going to break through to the American market, and he sure enough did. He's been in, Agents of Shields with Marvel. He's been in a bunch of stuff, and just recently with Liam Neeson in this film called The Marksman. And I stayed in touch with him throughout the years, and he says, "Hey, man, I can't take you to Agents of Shield. They got this other stunt dude doing these things for me. I can't really pick my own stunt guy yet. I'm not at that level. But when I do, when I am, I'll definitely give you the call." I honestly thought he was kind of blowing me off, so I just forgot about it and flowed on, and did stunts for other guys, worked with other people. But this was the more significant gentleman that I've worked with. And sure enough, he gave me a call from New Mexico and was like, "Hey, we're looking for a badass. What are you doing next week? I'm in this film with Liam Neeson called The Marksman, and I'm out here in New Mexico. And you know who I am. I don't like guys that don't look like me. I'd rather do it on my own. But, you're pretty much, the closest fit. Come up here and let's see if, you can nail some of the stuff that you're going to have to do." Wow. It's crazy stuff, man. Are you ready for it? And I'm like, man, you kidding me? Let me change around a few things. Because at the time I was personally training people. I had to just made a few changes to my schedule. This was my number one priority. And I was in New Mexico. And if you haven't seen, guys, this film, The Marksman, it came out about 2 years ago. Maybe even 3 years ago now. No, it's been 2-3 years since the release. It's a great story. The 9-year-old made me cry on set. Oh, that's how good he was. The star actor was a 9-year-old kid at the time. Amazing. And the film is based on true events. Check that out. I got an opportunity to choreograph some of these action scenes that you see in the film. That was amazing. Work with Liam for the 2 weeks in his ballroom, because he does all his own stunts as well, for the fight stunts anyway. He does all his own fight scenes, and it had to be realistic and true to him. So that was a great opportunity to work with Liam and Juan Pablo again. It's been an amazing journey. I'm still pursuing the acting as well. I do all my own stunts when I act. Got the opportunity to work with Eric Roberts, Burt Reynolds, rest in peace. It's opened up so many doors. I owe it to the martial arts for sure.
Absolutely. Wow, and that drive and that passion shines through. And, I believe the universe is blessing you, especially because you have a pure heart, and the things that you do with sincerity, and meeting all these wonderful stars. I've met some high-level people, and I'm always amazed and thankful, because they are so humble. They are so down to earth, and it's so invigorating to see that. You also worked with many humble people they've achieved the top level success, and still they are human beings, and they treat people with dignity. What was that like? Because you've mentioned some powerful names.
I'm sorry that it muffled a little bit when you were speaking. What was the question?
These high level stars that you've worked with, I'm always amazed and so genuinely surprised that they are all so humble and down to earth.
Absolutely. Even back when I was training to be still part of the fight game, because I was mostly a striker, I didn't have much jiu-jitsu, so there was times where I went off and trained with some of these superstars that you see on television in the UFC currently. I was at the Jackson's MMA with John Bones Jones when he first got there, even before Rashad Evans left. He just lost his title to Machida at the time. And he was their light heavyweight. And then John Bones came through and kind of, pushed Rashad out of the way, because you can't have two light heavyweight champions training there for the same title, All of these guys were so nice to me. Everybody wanted to genuinely help. Then I left Jackson's. I was there for about 4 months, camping out with all those guys up there: Clay Guida, Cub Swanson, Keith Jardine, Joe Daddy Stevenson. The list goes on. Michelle Watterson, the karate hottie. She was so, I had a silent crush on her. Anyway, so a not so silent crush on her. That's for you, Michelle. And so I've always I've vibed with people on that level, and they're just people. They're just people in their journey trying to do their best. Gokor Chivichian and Gene LaBelle, rest in peace as well. He just recently passed. I've trained there for about a year and a half in the journey, all throughout the amateur career, and then meeting these amazing people like Liam and Eric Roberts and Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds actually came up to me on the set of Hidden Assets and told me, you beat out the top 3 actors in my studio for this part of Carter. Wow. And now, after he came and saw me act from the sideline a little bit. He's like, after seeing, I understand why Jacqueline chose you. That was the director, Jacqueline Journey. Wow. I understand why it is that she chose you for the part. And my mouth was on the floor. I couldn't believe, that Burt Reynolds came to me and said that. Easy. And then just kind of walked away. Yeah. So no, very nice. All of them are just people. Liam was hilarious. I didn't get some of his dry humor until later on that night. He would say something to me and then just kind of laugh it off because, And then later I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Very, very, very nice people. Very nice people. You couldn't even tell. Liam came to his rehearsals in the same shirt with holes in it. You couldn't tell. If you didn't know that was Liam Neeson, right? I mean, it's just a pair of sweats, a T-shirt with holes in it, the same one every morning to come to the rehearsals with. And it's just like, wow, what a humble guy. What a nice dude. He went out of his way to get my actor, things that he liked. He had a knife engraved with his name in it. I think he also got him a bike or something like that. He started to ask me what it is that my actor really likes, and I said, well, I know that he's a biker, and but he took the time to really get to know me, everyone. He asked me questions. We had great conversations. Eric Roberts is also a very nice guy on set of Henri. We haven't seen that star in the film. It's about a young monk. I had to shave my head and all. I have a funny accent in it. That's what the director wanted. I had just a lot of great experiences with these people that I can call a friend.
Yeah. Wow. Looking at Liam Neeson, he always looks so serious, with that deep voice. I would never have thought that he can be, telling jokes and having people laugh.
I'm telling you, it's a transformation. He walks into the trailer one man. He walks out of the trailer after makeup a completely different man. It's a switch. It just turns on. Yeah, he's a character. And it was great to watch. It was really cool to see from the sideline, exactly, knowing this humorous, funny Irish man that likes to crack funny jokes and whatnot, and then come in as his character self.
Amazing. You've played amazing roles. You've played so many diverse roles. What role was your favorite role to play, or which role stood out for you?
Ooh. I really thought that Henri was going to be something different. The way the script read as to how it came out was an experience in itself, you know. That was my first major role I was starring in. It's spelled Henri, by the way. It's on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, it's free. I co-choreographed the fight scenes with my friend Xavier Liu. He's also a very talented kid. He's in Atlanta now doing a bunch of things, also recovering from cancer. Love you, bud. You got this. You know, continue the hard fight, the good fight. He's beat it once, and now he's going through a second round to beat it again, and he's a ninja. He's going to do it. So that's huge. I think that was my favorite part because it was my first starring role, and it was like with Eric Roberts, and you know, he called me Karate Kid. He was like, "Hey, Karate Kid, you know, come over here." And I was holding the umbrella for him because it started raining, so he chose me to hold the umbrella for him. So I was the star of the film slash the umbrella holder for Eric Roberts, which is my honor. It didn't matter. I wasn't really, you know, acting on set that day, so I was there to help out. Yeah, and he made a comment about my shoes. You know, he's like, "Oh yeah, nice shoes. I'm a shoe whore." Blah blah blah. And he just, you know, he was poking at my character and just messing with me to see what it is that I'm made of. You know, he wants to get under your skin a little bit. Come on, that's old Hollywood. He's got to know what it is. You know, is this film gonna do anything? Does this guy have any talent? Is he gonna break when I mess with him? He shared a yogurt with me on set. That was cool. You know, just because he had a specific kind of probiotic yogurt that he needed to have on set that day. The director was actually complaining about it. He's like, "Oh, to find these yogurts was so hard. I had to get them shipped in from somewhere. I don't know." So he had a refrigerator full of these yogurts. And I was like, "You know, what are these yogurts all about?" He's like, "Oh, have one." Okay, that was cool. Yeah, that had to have been my favorite project though, because of the interactions, because of it being something. But then, you know, when it came out, it was very B grade.
Yeah.
And the director really didn't want to make the changes it needed to have. Robert Lasarda was also in it playing a sheriff, and he's a Lionsgate actor, and they were very excited about him breaking his typecast. Because if you know Robert Lasarda, he's always playing like some, you know, hard gangster type looks, and this is the first time he was like a sheriff, like a good guy in a sense. And so they were really excited about picking it up, but there needed to be a re-editing, you know, like an overall. It was a very good rough draft in a sense, but it needed about another, you know, maybe $10,000 of editing or something. And Robert Lasarda was about to invest his own money in it and become a producer on it. But the director was like, "What are you trying to direct my film?" And there was like an ego thing. Anyway, make a long story short, needless to say, it didn't get picked up. Lionsgate. They went with their own distribution, and he had his own plan. And so that I made a lot of experience from that film. I learned so much in the game. Everything needs to be in contract, you know. They put somebody else on the cover of the film just because I was a new actor. I didn't have my name. So they, you know, even though Burt Reynolds and Eric Roberts and Robert Lasarda didn't have as big of parts in it, they were on the cover, and they kind of stuck me on the back, and they had some, I don't know, a picture of some random person's face on there. It was almost like digitalized or something. And so I learned now, you know, as a star of the film, you know, you should specify these things. Also, after I did all of the fight choreography, he didn't want me there during editing to suggest certain angles and shots that I think it would have been best seen at. So that was my favorite project because it was the one that I got the most experience with. Now, when I do projects, I'm a little more upfront about how much it is that I want to have control over certain things.
Yeah.
because it's always best for the film for the fight choreographer to be involved in at least the editing of the fight scenes. I gave him my baby,
Yeah.
and then I told him how it is that I feel, certain things should be. So, and he yahed me until it was done. And then when it was done, obviously, he was like, well, that's it. You've done your part. Goodbye. I was like,
Oh
wait,
no.
oh. So when I saw the project, if you ever go watch Henri, you'll see that the sounds are very important in the fight scene. Those are completely off. A few things just made it a be great film, and the editing was off. So, excuse me, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna take a sip of my Turkish coffee here. Okay.
Enjoy.
Um, and that's what it is. So, getting back to the question, it's my favorite. It's my favorite because I learned the most.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You like learning new things. You're always busy developing yourself. You're always promoting others. And it makes sense to me. And I agree with you. You put together the choreography. You are, the fighter itself. You actually do the stunts yourself. So they would really prosper, and they would really find good edification and good information from you on the editing side, because you're in it. You know what it's supposed to, how to make it look real. You know what the sounds are
Yes,
supposed to
yes,
be.
that's so
And
that's so important. He was a great
yeah,
director. He was a great director, but he wasn't a martial artist.
that's the problem.
And
Yeah.
just certain things in collaborations of sorts. It's important to specify what it is that you want to do in the project to the T. I mean, like
Yeah.
if you'd like to be on the cover, that also has to be in the contract. You need to let them know, hey, I'm hoping to be on the cover of this film, being that I star in it. Or they can easily replace you. Once these distribution companies get a hold of it, they do whatever they want.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
talking about doing your own fight scenes, your own stunts, tell us if you've ever, sustained any injuries, because I mean, that's hardcore. Anything can go wrong during a stunt.
Most of my significant injuries were from the fight game. I've broken all my toes, smashed my hands, had a rib. I still have a floating rib, like a sliding rib from judo. Um, that kind of like pops in and out every once in a while. It's weird. I'm already used to it. But on the set from the stunts, not really anything to mention. I mean, pathetic little scratch here and there, maybe like a bruised hip or something, but nothing that I'm not used to from like a good wrestling class or something, it's just basic stuff. So that's why it was kind of like right up my alley. I didn't mind
Yeah.
these little scuffs and bangs. I kind of, was like, yes, get to take a souvenir home.
Woohoo! And to the audience, when you do martial arts for many years on end, even with the jiu-jitsu, you get body conditioned pretty well. So, at some point, it starts to not, I wouldn't say it feels good. I'll just say, you're used to the feeling. You still have the bruise, but it's not as bad as it was, a few years ago, the body
Yeah.
conditioning.
It happens through the repetition. The first take, okay, second take, third take, fourth take. Let's get another take from another angle. And you're falling out of a truck. You know what I mean? Like the road is unforgiving. It is it is what it is. So you're going to get hurt, but it's not that bad. Like I said, most of my injuries, the significant ones from the fight game, those sucked. I'm sorry if I'm not hearing the question. For some reason, you're a little muffled.
No problem. Everything you've answered them also beautifully. And you and I talked a little bit about freedom. Being a martial artist, being a business owner, being someone, an entrepreneur, you're busy. You've always been busy with many different things because you're passionate about it. And when we go into that life path, it gives us, and that's what I enjoy about my life as well, it gives us a certain type of freedom. So tell us,
Yes.
what does freedom signify to you?
That's the most important thing. If I feel like waking up and going to the beach, that's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
You know, if I feel like waking up and going to go play, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I wake up and feel like in the morning. I feel because all my jobs are passion jobs. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm going to go play. I'm going to go help this person attain this, get to this goal. Um, being it a referral to an attorney, or when people get into auto accidents, I assemble them with a medical clinic to go get their treatment in.
Yeah.
I've got friends of all walks as well, and so I'm a businessman in that sense. Like I'll make two millionaires rub their shoulders together, right, at
Yes.
an event or something. And next thing you know, they can help each other.
Yeah.
But then, as a consultant and somebody that's introduced the two of them, hey, if I helped you make $1 million,
Yeah.
wouldn't you give me 10%?
That's it.
Right? I mean, it's $1 million you would have never had. Why not?
Yes.
There's more than enough money to make here, right? Just recently, I introduced a deal with Vivi Castellon, which is Vivi Cast. Sorry, she was a Colombia's Playboy model for a while, and she was looking for somebody that could endorse or help her get like a sex pill going on. And so a friend of mine has a business called Happy Banana, and I met her on set, her and her manager, which is also her husband.
Yeah.
And I connected them with my friend Dennis, and they're doing business now, and I got a little percentage from that, which I'm very thankful for, and hopefully it goes on to sell millions and millions of bottles so that I can get another little percentage from that. That's what I do. I just I love to share and orient people with one another if I know that they can help each other and
Yeah.
expand their horizons. That's what it's all about, helping the next, and being free enough to do that. If
Yeah.
my job entails going out that night and meeting a few people at some event, great.
Yeah.
That's not work, that's play.
That's not work.
If I
That's
have to
playing
wake up and train a few fighters getting ready for their show, hold some pads or get in there and spar, I'm the dojo hobo. I still to this day train at like different dojos, trying to
fun.
implement that fight feeling of not knowing anybody on the mat and coming to spar. If I don't go to like a random spar session somewhere, like at least, and I mean at least 2 times a week, I'm
Yeah.
depressed. I
Yeah.
need to, that's like my therapy. It's therapy. I need to go and get punched in the face. I need to go punch people in the face. I need to go and get, a little scuff or a burn somewhere. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I
I
love
also,
having the freedom of doing whatever it is that I want. If I want to go train that day, if I want to go play that day, it's all the
yeah,
same thing to me. Work and play. You don't work a day of your life if you're doing what you love.
that's the truth. That is the absolute truth. And, to the audience out there, martial artists, it's not just an art that we study, it's a very big part of our lives and it becomes our lifestyle. So
Yeah.
when I travel, I also go to dojos. I visit different dojos. I mean,
Yes.
I do Shorin Ru, Shorin Kan, but the last time I went over to the States, I went to Kung Fu dojo, which is totally different from my style. And it was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah. Speaking of travels, I just did that. I was in Brazil, Paraguay, and Argentina. And I went and trained with some of the Gracie Baja guys up there in Paraguay. That was a great time. Very talented gentleman on the mat. And just, kind of tested my belt level across the world. Okay, you might be a purple belt here. I know some
Yeah.
blue belts that are silent black belt assassins. The belt, any martial artist will tell you, a belt just holds the gi together.
That's
There's,
it.
many gentlemen that are in their journey that are way more seasoned than the belt they wear. Um,
Yeah.
And I needed that validation, of course. You got to test yourself. So I went out there and had some fun with the gentleman up there. And I definitely feel I am at my belt level, if not a little more advanced. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I had a great time. And that's another thing that I love to do. If I'm traveling anywhere, I have to go see a local place that, what's the coolest school around here? Let me go and train with those guys.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's true what you're saying. I agree with you. The belt, actually, the belt just says or shows how long, you've been practicing the art. It does not really say how good you are, because I've seen, people in lower belts that are excellent, that are
Okay.
machines.
Yeah. And a true martial artist won't care about the belt anyway.
That's it.
We don't care. We're going to come and train. And, oh, look at this. I've put so many training days behind me that I got the belt.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I want to ask you, Eli, I love to focus on gratitude, leadership, and community, because I believe that we are there to uplift each other and, pour out from ourselves into the lives of others in whichever way we can. Like you said, even if it's to go and hold the and make that connection, do that networking for two wonderful entrepreneurs to meet. What is gratitude to you? What are you grateful for today?
Oh, wow. I'm grateful for my frame of mind. I'm grateful for the ability to, even in adversity, still somehow be gentle with myself and
Yeah.
kind to others. You never know what somebody's going through. Um, in this time right now where the world is making so many different changes and we feel it for the most part, we're intuitive beings, even though we
Yes.
might try to kind of silence that or just get into a routine and who don't think about that stuff, getting too deep here. Right. I believe that the pandemic actually had a lot of people start to reflect inward.
Mhm. Yes.
And I've seen a lot of things blossom since. So that's it. I'm thankful and full of gratitude for all the opportunities, all the amazing walks of life I've got to work with, and full of gratitude for um, the abundance that has been presented to me in my life. I've had really tough times where I was completely poor with my stomach touching my spine, and I've persevered to places where I am now. Matter of fact, I wanted to
Yeah.
share this beautiful view with you of the ocean. This is what I wake up to in the mornings.
Oh, amazingly beautiful. I love it.
So I'm so thankful for just the opportunity, like I said in the beginning, to have the passion and skill set to align with the opportunities that I've gotten.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for every single person that's impacted me in my life, from the random person that I spoke to at the bus stop when I was grabbing a snack. I'm the guy in the elevator that breaks that awkward silence where everybody's just kind of standing around like that. I'll just say something goofy to like everybody to break character real quick. I'm um, I'm the goofball that'll just not. I don't take myself seriously.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for the ability to do that. I'm thankful for the vulnerability that I've been able to share. I think vulnerability is true strength.
Mm.
Like I said in the beginning, we were taught at a young age as men to not express yourselves. Don't let these things show, hide these emotions, whatever. No,
Yeah.
no. I'm evolved to a place where I find peace from being able to express myself. And you know what? If you don't understand me at that point, then that's sort of like my filter
Yeah.
against, hey, maybe you're not
Mm.
my people. And that's okay
That's
too. Still love you.
yeah.
But I'm just grateful for the way the universe has sorted things out for me. I've always been guided. I've always magically got to the location and have been ready. I've always been protected, and that's another message that I have for you out there. Rather you do
Yeah.
or don't believe in angels, I believe
Mm.
that there are entities out there that help us in this journey. And if you recognize them, it might even be a loved one that passed. It might be, a
Yeah.
pet that's passed or no longer here with you, um, or just a spirit guide. Recognize them, right?
Yeah.
Recognize them. Thank them. They are with you. They're helping you out. If you miss
Yeah.
that red light, it might have been a silent miracle. You might have got
Yeah.
stuck at that red light because there was an accident up the way. So you're in a
Yes.
rush, but you got stuck. And I'm just like, you know what, guys? Thank you. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm stuck at this railroad track right now. I know I'm in a rush, but when I get there, everything's going to be fine. I recognize that I am protected. Before
Yeah.
I get on an airplane, I'll just make a little silent prayer to myself.
Yeah.
Recognitions of the enchantment that's around us. This is
Mm.
a very spiritual
Yeah.
and mysterious place. Um,
Mm.
recognize your positive angels, right?
Yeah.
Rather it's momentarily as you go on throughout the day. Maybe it's just a couple minutes you want to give them in the beginning of the day,
Yeah.
or all the above.
Mm. That's it. I absolutely believe in that. I really believe that we are intuitive beings, like you've mentioned, and I believe in recognizing the synchronicities in my life, the magic that transpires every day. So, yeah, so I actually get up every morning after my meditation. I get up and then I put my hands out, and I speak to the universe and I say, how much better can this day get? And you would
Yes.
believe all
Yes.
the wonderful things that it's just phenomenal.
Yes. 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 And even in the more challenging times, just going, all right, this is fine, but it can take a turn towards the positive at any moment. Having
That's
that
it.
exciting feeling of
Yeah.
like something really good can happen right now. And
Yeah.
regardless of like the poop stain that's, presented itself in the moment, you're just like, yeah, that's fine. Not going to define my day, not going to ruin my day, not going to ruin this moment, even, you know.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And I want to thank you for sharing your life with us, for sharing you, and, for being vulnerable, because I believe that's what being authentic is all about. And I want to ask you a final question, Eli, as we end off this wonderful session. Do you have any words of wisdom for the audience that you want to impart into their lives?
Mm. Believe in yourselves, right?
Yeah.
When you finally get that clarity
Yeah.
of what it is that you want to do, believe that it can be achieved. At the same time, you can just ask for help from your personal angels. Hey guys, I need, the strength right now. I really want this to happen for my life. Um, that would be the advice. Just believe in yourself. Once you finally get clarity, love yourself all throughout, even if you don't have a clear picture of what it is that you want. You're always in the right place at the right time. This universe doesn't make mistakes in that sense. You're exactly where you need to be, and what you don't have, you don't need it now. That's a quote
Yes.
that I love so much from Bono of U2.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
it's helped me a lot. We have these social standards and um, things of just what we see online or whatever. You're comparing yourself constantly to other people or other things and whatnot. You're your own entity, you're your own being. You can manifest whatever it is for yourself. Be limitless, be fearless. Again, face your fears, right? It's an opportunity to change. And love yourself all throughout. That's it. That's my positive message. Love yourself all throughout. Even if you're going through a tough time right now, there is a bigger picture. You might not see it in the moment. Don't give up. Keep going. Stay positive. Thank your positive angels, and beautiful things will happen to you. If
That's
there's
the
any way
truth.
that I can help anyone out there, I'm at this time opening myself to that as well. Please do check out my IMDb,
Yes.
imdb.me/Eli Zen for any kind of, there's a couple cool pictures there, a sizzle reel. If there's any directors out there that would like to link, any writers that would like to possibly speak to me, I am completely open to that. So there's always a fishing rod in the water for more opportunities. This is an amazing platform to do that. I appreciate you so much, Juanita, for extending the invite. Stay a warrior. We're all warriors. We're all here to get something done,
Yes.
whatever it is, right? I believe that we made a choice to be here. We just don't remember in the past life. But I commend your bravery for everyone that's chosen this earthly experience. I commend you. I see you. And if we cross paths, I love all walks of life.
Yeah.
Come say hello. I'm a nice guy. I might be like in a mood, or also have my Liam Neeson personality on at the time, but I'm a softie underneath this hard shell, and that's come through the experiences of life. I love all walks of life.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that resonates through to the audience. We can feel that. We feel your heart for humanity. And you mentioned self-love. And I just want to tell the audience, it's very important what Eli mentioned, because when you love yourself, you are in alignment with yourself, but you're also in alignment with the universe. And really take time to accept yourself and to love yourself. And yes, as Eli said, continue to be a warrior, because you can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to, and believe in yourself. And Eli, we believe in what you stand for. We believe in you as a wonderful person out there, impacting so many lives. And thank you for the honor of being able to interview you. Thank you.
It's my honor. That's allowed.
Mwah. Have a beautiful day, Eli.
Stay well.
Speak soon.
Many blessings to and through you. Take care. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
House music.
Us.